Hello, my name is Rick Sneed, and I am so grateful and blessed to have this opportunity to help spread positivity during this time in which we have a choice to live by faith or to live by fear. As I wondered what I would speak about today, I was reminded of some very important thoughts written by John Gordon in his book, The Positive Dog. This is what he had to say. Faith and fear have one thing in common. They both believe in a future that has not yet happened. Fear believes in something very negative in the future, while faith believes in a very positive future. The irony is that the answer to fear is faith, and faith is just a thought away. John Gordon's words have resonated with me during this unique time of reset, because I have realized that my faith has been challenged during this time. And I'm almost certain that your faith has been challenged too. But here's where I want to encourage you. And so what I've done is put together some thoughts that maybe help you out. While going through the toughest circumstances, I believe having faith will elicit great personal growth. I also believe that what we are currently going through, although bleak and uncertain, is no more challenging and more difficult than what you all have already personally gone through and overcome. That mountain, that trial, that tribulation. Most certainly, we have all experienced different degrees of loss, rejection, tragedy, and loneliness. And during those tough times, we found others around us to help and support us and get us through. We bonded closely with our friends and families, and our love connection grew even deeper because of the way we helped encourage each other during tough times. Guess what? You made it. I made it. We made it because of the simple fact that tough times never last, but tough people do. But this COVID-19 pandemic has created some unique challenges. Although circumstances from one person to the next may be unique and very different, the truth is we are all still living out this current pandemic, every single one of us. So if I could label this current situation with a descriptor, an adjective, I would label the pandemic, COVID-19 virus, as isolation. The idea of being isolated and feeling that everywhere we turn, there is someone else who is troubled and dealing with their own negative stuff, their sorrow, their pains, and our inability to help them out can all cause a great deal of fear. Or we can look at things from a very different perspective, maybe a more positive perspective. Yes, even during a crazy time like the COVID-19 crisis. And we can ask ourselves a simple question. Does this current time of reset create a greater level of faith in each one of us versus create a greater level of fear? I believe as a human race, we are at a very crucial point in history when our faith can and should grow the most. This is the time where our personal calling and purpose could become more relevant than it ever has before. I can sometimes be labeled as a black and white kind of guy, someone who doesn't regularly spend time in the gray areas. I kind of think of it being either positive or negative. And whichever mindset you choose to feed, you will inevitably become. An example, if you take a cold glass of chocolate milk and you stuck it in a microwave and you turn the heat up and continue to heat it for a duration of time, that cold glass of chocolate milk will eventually turn into hot cocoa. Likewise, if you take a very positive person and constantly pour negativity over top of them, they will too eventually succumb to the negativity, and it will change their perspective on life, giving them a very bleak and negative outlook on their future. So for me, I've got to choose faith over fear, because I don't think I can be both. I believe I have to choose a calling over a duty, and that's the way I choose to look at life. A calling comes from faith, while duty can derive from fear. I have to do this because if I don't, I won't have a job. I have to do this because if I don't, I won't be able to afford to pay my bills. Whereas a calling I do this because I am wired and created to take care of other people. And through the things that I do and how I interact with them, I may add hope to their life, be used as a vessel or a conduit to help people find a better future, a better eternity. But I gotta be honest, every day, I must intentionally choose to follow the faith and thus my calling, because it's not easy. It's not natural. And when this whole thing went down, I gotta be honest, I had a few times where I lapsed. I let my fear get the best of me. But seeing this challenge, this current pandemic for what it is, a challenge, to redefine my calling in a very unique time, I began to get extremely excited because challenges, they make me feel alive. It draws my senses to my purpose and eliminates all the outside distractions. I am certain that at this point, we have all experienced isolation in the midst of this unique time of reset. I am also certain that at some point, we have all encountered some sense of fear. Fear of what will be, what could be, what may be. I don't know. But I am also certain that we have all experienced a tranquil moment where we have self-reflected and felt an inner peace that can only come from hope and faith. In that moment, we can make a choice and decide to feed the faith or to feed the fear. We can take this time to discover or rediscover our purpose, or stated differently, our why. Why are we here? It is there you realize your calling, which, if you focus on that enough, your calling will overtake your duty. Your duties, your job, your responsibilities, and etc., all those transactional tasks we live out each and every day are not the same today as they were yesterday. And I've got a news break for you. They're probably not going to be the same tomorrow. And that also can create a great deal of fear. And I understand. But let me assure you of a promise. When you decide to live out your calling, your circumstances, life, COVID-19 pandemics may come into your life and they may cause your life to shift. It may cause circumstances to change. But it never, ever affects your calling. The reason why you're here will always remain the same. It's your why, your purpose, and it all stems from your faith. And the hope that through your faith, you can influence others to a positive tomorrow. So although some have considered what we're going through as a new normal, or some have suggested that what we are currently doing is in a holding pattern as a new normal is created, I don't know. I choose not to look at things in either way at all. To me, I hope that things are never normal again. I hope and I look to be better and uniquely blessed each and every day and even beyond this time of reset. I hope that in this time of isolation, we truly learn the value in sharing genuine love with our neighbors and even the ones we call strangers. If you're not certain or sure where to start or what your calling may be, then I suggest you begin with living out the purpose of connecting and taking care of the people closest to you. Not in a superficial sense, but in a way that inspires them internally. I encourage you, when there doesn't seem like much that you can do, that you find the value in the smallest yet most meaningful gestures. Start by being positive towards others. It never hurts to smile and say hello. Be strong in your faith. Be intentional. Take the time to grow that part of your spirit. And then find your calling. Figure out what you're passionate about, what you're good at, and use that as a way to reach others. Now, most of you guys know that I'm a football coach. And the coach in me understands that it's always good to end with a call of action. So what I'd like to do is provide anyone who is watching a challenge. And here's the challenge I have for you. I am calling you all to be a part of the Positive Dog University. But I don't just want you to be the positive dog. My hope is to employ you to become the Chief Encouragement Officer. That's right, the CEO. And by taking the role of being the CEO of the Positive Dog University, your mission is to deliver positivity to everyone in all your walks of life. At your job, at your school, at your home, with your friends, in everything you do, you deliver positive energy. That's what you do as a CEO. Now, how do you do that? I want to give you guys some simple yet effective steps to start your role as a CEO today. I would like to encourage you all to take 15 minutes out of your day. Maybe it's getting up 15 minutes early and pick 5 people by name that you want to encourage on that day. Don't waste time. Put your mind to it right away in the morning and decide that day, not tomorrow, not next week, that day, you're going to pour into those 5 people. And then make a very conscious decision on how you're going to add value to their life. It could be send a text of love and kindness or encouragement. It could be a motivational meme that connects you to that person personally. It could be even dropping a bag of goodies at the Safeway locally, so that way those people who are on the front line serving us each and every day feel the love and generosity and care from those that they're supporting. It could be anything, as long as it intentionally comes from that positive spot in your heart. I promise that when you develop a habit of doing this regularly, that your fears will disappear and your faith will grow. So, in closing, I would like to say that this morning, I woke up and intentionally wrote this message of love for you. That's right, you. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the time to share it. That's right. Be the positive dog. Be the CEO of your community. God bless. And I want you to always remember that I am always sending positivity your way. Godspeed. Take care.